In today's video, we're going to be going over Webull, but instead of the mobile device or the mobile app that you may be used to looking at for Webull, we're actually going to be going over the desktop version known as 4.0 that was recently launched. And we're going to be talking about the charting, the features, and some of the analytics that are incorporated in the application that is different than the mobile device. So let's go over to the desktop and give it a review and check it out. First thing you're going to want to do is go to Webull.com, come to this download tab, and then you're going to click on one of these two buttons for Windows or for Mac for the Webull Desktop 4.0. Once you click on that, you can download it and we'll take a look at the application. Once you have the application downloaded, you'll log into your account. That way, any information related to watch lists or screeners that you have set up on the mobile app automatically come in to the desktop version. And then what you're going to notice right away is that you get a default layout. And I know, I'm thinking the same thing as you. You're going to want to go to settings and then go to dark theme. Oh, thank God. All right, there we go. Much better. So I'm going to start off by going through the different tabs within the application. You have watchlist, stocks, market, screener, customization, account, and paper trading. And I'm going to go ahead and start with customization. So you can either design it from scratch on how you want it to look, or you can just go ahead and pick the normal default layout. So once you're in the layout, you'll notice that there's different sections. So each of these boxes is known as a widget, and you can customize it on which widgets you want. And if you want to add, you can come up to this upper right corner, and there's different sections that you can add different widgets. So for stocks, if I want to add the financial statements, I'd come here, and boom, now I have this widget that I can put within my layout. So by default, you start off with watch list, you have a chart, your orders, kind of the positions that you currently have, a level 2 order book. And so you can lay this out however you want, and you can put it here. And once you have the layout that you actually want, you can continue just to save it as a layout, or you can have multiple layouts for different situations. If you have one for option trading and another one for just stock analysis, that's what you can do. So I'm going to save this as Main Street Wolf layout, and we can go through some of these widgets and kind of go over some of the things that I like. So with the watch list, you have all these ticker symbols, and you can toggle between them, and it changes all the other widgets associated with it. So if I want to buy some VNQ, you come here and you can see the chart. You can add these different indicators or remove them however you want. So for me, I like a moving average, Bollinger Bands, the MACD, and the RSI. So within each of those indicators, you can toggle exactly what you want the indicators to be like. So if you have a specific criteria for each of those, you can change that. In terms of putting in an order, you can see that there's a default. So if you delete this and go ahead and put in an order, I change it to a quantity of 1 share, and then you can easily just manipulate this down here and you can place your order pretty quickly. Once the markets are actually live, you could see a level 2 order book. And then you have things like all of your orders being filled, your cancels, and then all of your positions. With all that being said, there is a ton of widgets that you can add. And something else that's pretty cool is if you have just a lot of clutter and you want to combine things, you can actually combine the widgets. So they have an IPO calendar for upcoming, filed, and listed IPOs. And then they also even have a calendar for earnings, dividends, things like that. So there's a lot of information, a lot of different widgets, but you can actually go ahead and drag this into another widget, and now you have 2 tabs. So you have an IPO calendar as well as the calendar for earnings, dividends, and splits. So honestly, that's a pretty cool feature for me as well, because it reduces the clutter and you can have a ton of different widgets. I think the watch list tab is pretty self-explanatory. You have all of the different ticker symbols that you can add to your watch list, and then you can come right here and click on this symbol to bring in different criteria that you want to look at. By default, I have everything here, and that way you can sort on any specific criteria you want. So if you're looking at some of the stocks in your watch list with the larger market caps, you can just click this and it will be in ascending or descending order. The next tab is the Stocks tab, and this is way better than the customization in my opinion until you get really specific on what you like. But by default, this tab shows you everything that you need, in my opinion, and the fact that it's organized nicely. So I can go between the ticker symbols on my watch list, and then I have all the things that I could put in the customization tab, so order entry, financials, profile of that actual stock. You have the large chart here, you have the order book, all of your orders, everything just nicely fits into the screen. So honestly, this is probably the tab I would be in the most. Then you have the Markets tab that is going to show you from a high level view kind of what's going on within the different markets, different sectors, and honestly, this is also really nice. And if you notice, these two tabs, the Stocks and Markets tab, are very similar to the mobile app. It's just with the desktop version, it just seems like you can do a lot more. You can customize it a lot easier than the mobile app, and there's just so much more information at your fingertips. So that's what I noticed between the desktop version and the mobile version. It's just the mobile version, but even better and more in depth. So the next tab is the screener, and this is the one tab I think that could use some improvement from Webull. So I usually use a website like finviz.com, which has both qualitative and quantitative metrics in order to screen the different stocks that I'm looking at. So when it comes to the desktop version of the screener, I noticed it's very similar to the mobile app, and I mean, it's good for basic criteria, but I think if they added more metrics, more criteria to scan, it could be even better. Then you have the account tab. I don't think there's anything crazy about it. It's pretty standard. It's clean looking, and I don't have too much to say about this specific tab. Another nice thing is that you can actually paper trade with Webull. So you can have the exact same setup that you want for your real-time trading, and you can test different strategies out, and you have all the same capabilities, but with paper trading. So honestly, if you're not sure if you want to get started with either trading or investing or using this platform, you can always sign up, download it, and play around with it within the paper trading simulation and see kind of how you want to set it up for the real thing, which I think is pretty cool. I know TD Ameritrade does that as well, so very comparable in that sense. But from a brokerage, I always like to see the ability to do paper trading too. Just for people that are beginning, you can kind of test the waters. So some other features for the platform, you can actually go up to the top left corner, click here, and you can see different layouts. So they actually have more than the default layout. They also have things for day traders, swing traders, or even option traders. And you can organize these tabs however you want. So you can shift things around, and I really like just the overall customability of the entire platform. It really shows that you can customize it how you want, or you can just go ahead and keep with the standard setup, which I think is great as well. So you kind of have best of both worlds there. And as you guys know, I do trade options from time to time, so I wanted to check out the layout known as Options Traders to see how it compares to other platforms. And honestly, I think there is some things that could be added to this to make it a little better. One of the things I noticed is there isn't standard setups, and I know they don't have it on the mobile app either, but for things like debit spreads or credit spreads or iron condors, strangles, things that I don't want to have to manually click through the puts and calls in order to set up. If they had a way to set that up automatically, that would be pretty great. So that would be another thing that I think they could work on, is just overall visualization with the options and putting on trades and the visualization of putting on those trades. Some closing thoughts on the Webull desktop version review. Definitely like the ease of use as well as the customability of the platform itself. Some things that I think could use work: the option trading visualization, as well as adding more qualitative metrics to the screener. But overall, I think it's very complementary to the mobile platform that they already have. This is giving the investor of Webull the option to either go desktop version, which has more features, more analytics, more charting, or you can still stick with the mobile device, the mobile app, which is great too. So Webull in general is giving more options and empowering both the investor and trader. So overall, I think it's a good application. Like I said, there's pros and cons, but overall, it's pretty solid. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like watching this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to Main Street Wolf. Thanks guys for watching, and have a great day.